Brash Sports Podcast, brought to you by Sick Voice. Trying to get out of work, family gatherings, or social outings? Give Sick Voice a try by raspifying your voice and sneaking a couple fake coughs into your conversation. A go-to for lazy people, procrastinators, and introverts alike. Sick Voice can get you out of whatever BS you agreed to weeks ago when you were optimistic and full of energy. Since COVID hit, it's never been easier to get out of shit you don't want to do. So try Sick Voice today and use promo code BRASH20 to save 10%. Remember, when you feel like you don't have a choice, you can always depend on Sick Voice. Welcome to the Brash Sports Podcast. I'm Josh. I'm joined here by my friend Brandon, and we got some shit to get into, so let's dive right in. Brandon, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. And I am Brandon, as our YouTube followers like to refer me as. I am the guy you don't know.
The guy.
But I do have a name. My name is Brandon, and it's good to be here, man. Thanks for joining me once again. We made it one full month without being kicked off, so I'm happy about it.
As much as everybody in the world tried to keep us down, we keep just pushing back. And we made it, dude. We are officially here. 1 month.
Cindy, she basically gave us the she said, look, you guys are walking a tightrope. It's surprising you made it this far. But just watch everything you say, everything you do. And we promise, we gave her our word that we're going to do everything we can to make sure that this episode 4 goes as smooth as possible. So, Cindy, this one's for you.
Yeah, she picked a great week because we are grossly underprepared, but that's fine. You know what I really can't wait for is to see which side of the screen we end up on after we edit it and publish it.
And
that'll be fun to see.
Anderson, our producer, actually, he should be the one that has to speak to this because he's our producer. He's the one that has to put the finished product out there.
He produces.
I'm the one that hits submit. That's it. They send it to me in my email. I click the submit button. I say, you know what? That looks good to me. Send it on out there. But obviously, there are things I'm missing, and I've not noticed that recently our screens have switched. And that is on me. I apologize if that has offended anybody. But I will do my best to avoid such distractions moving forward. I want to apologize to Cindy for this.
Oh, no. You hitting submit is way more work than I do on a weekly basis. So my hat's off to you. It couldn't be done without the power of you clicking submit. So
that's all I do, man. I just hit submit.
That's all I do.
They call me the submit kid. That's what they call me in the office,
Oh, that's funny. Well, dude, it's a little bit of a slow sports week. If you haven't noticed, there's some combine stuff out there. I've been following it a little bit. I haven't tuned in. Like back in the day when I was a diehard, I would fucking sit there and watch hours of combine, which looking back is ridiculous for just a casual sports fan to do. Sit there and watch people just run up and down the field. There are some interesting exercises like the watching the quarterbacks bomb it. So much fun. But you can just do all that shit on YouTube now. So like, I feel like the NFL's ratings have got to go way down just because of YouTubing the combine shit instead of tuning in. And I don't know if you've had a chance to catch any of it, but there's some surprise people out there that, especially one guy I want to talk about that I think could be a potential for the Washington Commanders.
You watch your mouth.
That you might or may not have heard of. I know that the kid from Pitt right now is everybody's favorite person to send to Washington, but watch out for Malik Willis, the quarterback from Liberty. I think he's like the consensus number 2 quarterback in this draft. His combine has been insane. So watch out for the kid. I think he could surprise people.
I had an opportunity to watch his highlights, and I will say, boy, was throwing dimes. He was nasty with it. They do have the luxury of throwing to their own wide receivers.
Gotta love that.
So I think that kind of helps. Also not having a NFL defensive lineman run at you at full speed also helps. when it comes to making those beautiful pinpoint throws. But my only thing about Malik Willis is I think he's got all the attributes. He's got the size, he's got the arm, he's got the look. And and I've heard him interviewed. Actually, I looked that up because I put a lot of stock into how these guys sound when they're interviewed.
Same.
And
only quarterbacks, though. I think for me, it's only quarterbacks.
No, of course, because you're the guy in the locker room that they all look up to. You're the guy that has to give the pep talk, so you got to know how to give it. And you just kind of if you're a fan of one of these shitty teams like I am. You're just kind of imagining, man, how's this guy going to do it? How's he going to get these guys riled up and pissed off enough when they're losing by fucking, 17 points in the third quarter to get back out there and he's definitely one of those guys. I'd be completely satisfied as a Washington Redskins, or formerly known as Redskins Commanders fan, to have on my team. But dude, what do you think separates him? Just a quick question between him and Desmond Ridder, who is my whatever it is, he's my favorite. I like Desmond Ridder. I think out of all the guys, I think Desmond Ridder is the guy to keep an eye on. And I don't know shit about college football. I'm saying that right now. I don't know jack squat. I just have this weird feeling that he's going to be the pick of the litter when it comes to this particular NFL draft.
Wow.
Nate, real quick, nobody was talking about Patrick Mahomes when he was drafted. Okay, I know he was drafted in the first round. Nobody was talking about him. And
I think he was the third or fourth quarterback off the board.
That's fine, but I watched that whole NFL combine. Nobody talked about him. Nobody made a big fucking, speech about, how, this is the guy to keep an eye on. And then when he was drafted, the only thing that made me say, was, Andy Reid picked him. So if Andy Reid picked him, he must have seen something special in him. So I think Desmond Ridder is the guy, that guy that might have a little bit of special, in his DNA. But what separates, in your opinion, him between Malik Willis? I just want to hear it.
I think the biggest thing is just athleticism. And I also think Cincinnati had a much better team than Liberty had. So I think he had the benefit of a better O-line, probably better weapons. I don't know.
Yeah, sure, fair enough.
But that's probably the things that are holding him back. I haven't heard, again, it's been very quiet on the Desmond Ridder front. But, I would say it's probably it. I mean, he never struck me when watching Cincinnati as the most athletic guy. I don't know. That could be the only thing.
I'm just surprised that when it comes to, who is the first quarterback that's going to be taken off the board? Who are the first three quarterbacks that are going to be taken off the board,
Oh, they're not even talking about him.
We all know that it's one of those years where quarterback really isn't a popular pick this year. We can say it. It's a what is it? A defensive lineman, offensive lineman heavy draft, right?
Wide receiver too. There's some crazy talented wide receivers.
There are some silly wide receivers, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But just to not acknowledge that there might be that guy at the quarterback position. I don't know. It just kind of bothers me. Why? If Desmond Ridder were taken at number 11, which is not that outlandish, it really isn't. Like you said, since he had a great year, why not? If that happened, what would you think?
I don't know. I think, first of all, it would depend. So you're saying 11. That's where Washington's drafting?
Yeah, I'm saying 11. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure the immediate reaction would probably be like, here they go again, fucking shit up. Like, it's one of those things where you never know until they hit the field, right? Like, how many, again, Patrick Mahomes slip through the cracks and fall in the first round. So I don't know. You could be onto something, dude. This could be a little brash proclamation talking about you think he's going to be the best quarterback of this draft.
Well, that's it's my
I mean, it's
gut's
basically what you're
telling
saying.
me.
Yeah.
But there's also a reason I am a guy who's sitting in his home office doing a podcast right now instead of a NFL scout. So there's a huge gap there.
I
So
feel like we could have been in a if we had
in a different
devoted
life.
ourselves.
Yes.
If we had devoted ourselves to anything other than fucking around out of high school, we could probably be scouts. I feel like we'd have a good eye for that.
Well,
I mean,
you got
what do you
Sean
have to do,
McVay
really?
out there. He just won a Super Bowl. The guy never played an
Well-
NFL or a football snap in his life, and he's an NFL head coach. He
mean-
just won a Super Bowl.
Dude,
That's the dream. That is the dream.
being a scout is clutch though, because you can just go like, how fast can he run? How high can he jump? Oh, he's got big hands, unlike Pickett with those tiny little girl hands. Okay, yeah, he's our guy. And if people don't work out, like how often do scouts get fired? Like, you don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean?
Have you noticed that on our feed right now? I know nobody else can see this, but on our feed right now, it's showing that I'm not saying anything, which is a little bit concerning. Hopefully, we don't go back and find out that none of my voice is being recorded. But then again, I'm the guy you don't know, so it really doesn't matter. But I just wanted to point that out.
It's working on my end. I see the little
Okay, good.
whatever they're called, the spikes.
We're having some technical issues right now. We're going to have to talk to Anderson about that. But hey, Anderson, he is actually not joining us today. Our producer is out. I texted him before the show. He was walking into a viewing when I texted him, which was the worst time to call him. I said, "Hey, buddy, what's up?" And he goes, "Oh, well, I'm kind of walking into a viewing right now." And I said, "Well, I guess you sound a little busy." And he goes, "Yeah, but you can text me." So I texted him a GIF of the Undertaker coming out of a casket.
Perfect. That's that's exactly what he probably needed to hear. And
I don't think he found it as funny as I did, but we'll see tomorrow, and if I'm hearing from Cindy or not.
Oh, well, yeah, you might as well just walk to Cindy's office right now after that. Everything all right over there? Dude, this is such a two-bit operation today.
Oh, man, it's a mishmash. It's put together real quick.
You can tell Anderson's out because we are a fucking hot mess.
Without Anderson, what are we? We're just two guys and two turntables and a microphone,
yeah, that is.
But let's talk about your wide receivers. You wanted to break down these wide receivers, so let's get to it.
Oh yeah, hold on. I gotta switch gears here. Hold on. I gotta find my link. Well, all I know is that the kids from Ohio State are blowing everybody's minds right now, and one of them just broke the 40-yard dash record that was held by John Ross. So that was a thing. Let's see here. All I've heard from the people that actually pay attention, the people that know what the fuck they're talking about, because again, clearly I don't.
Tyquan Thornton.
Tyquan Thornton. That's the name. Yes.
4-2-2. No, he got a 4-2-1. So he broke it by a hundredth. A hundredth.
1/100th of a second. And that definitely was not the error of some guy with a stopwatch. Okay, this is real, valid data. And John Ross is actually still on the New York Giants roster. So that'll tell you how important it is to have a really high 40-yard dash number.
And think of all the great things John Ross has done in his NFL career. I mean, the guy is a future, golden jacket bearer.
Dude, he
make the bust of him already. Just make it. What are we waiting for?
They are right now. They are in the process of busting John Ross. But no, dude, he gets like 3 catches a year, and they're all 90-yard touchdowns. And it's like, okay, cool. I guess it's okay to have that guy. Anyway, So the power rankings: Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and Traylon Burks. Traylon Burks is a physical freak. He's out of Arkansas. He's fucking insane. Watch out for him. And then, the two at the top, Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave at Ohio State. Beasts, absolute beasts. So you watch these guys run around, and there's legitimately like 10 wide receivers that are probably going to have good NFL careers. And it's like, think about how deep the wide receiver position already is. It's going to be like the next 5 years of the NFL are going to be fucking insane. No one's going to run the ball anymore. They're just going to air it out. Like,
you're right.
You just have Jamar Chases and Justin Jeffersons coming into the league every single year, and everybody's breaking everyone else's records. That's why, and quarterbacks have just put on the highest pedestal, because you need someone to throw to these guys. I just think the league is going to be so changed by the amount of quality wide receivers coming in every single year.
I do think it's awesome that he broke the record. I do. I always find that intriguing. The 40-yard dash is always fun to watch, for a novice like me when it comes to the NFL Combine.
I'd love to see what our times would be in the 40.
I'm looking at the top 12 right now. And, when it comes to the 40-yard dash in the NFL Combine.
Okay.
And there's only one person on that top 12 list who, by the way, is number 3 now.
I know who it is.
Who's a future Hall of Famer. And, but
is he a future Hall of Famer? I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer. He had a couple Hall of Fame caliber season.
You're right. He's not a future Hall of Fame. Well, he
had a 2,000-yard season, which
you never know. But they're running out of people for the NFL Hall of Fame. But he's the only one that sticks out as one of those guys you wish you had on your NFL team. The other guys are like, take them or leave them. They're disposable. They were journeymen. You're talking about Chris Johnson.
Of course, I'm talking about Chris Johnson
from East Carolina. Yeah, number 3 with a 4.24. Which at the time, of course, was amazing.
And that was early on when we started getting into fantasy football, and he came on the scene out of nowhere, and it was like, holy shit, this guy's. It's like it was Adrian Peterson, and then everybody else, and then it was like, oh shit, it's Adrian Peterson, Chris Johnson, and then everybody else. For a couple years.
How is Tyreek Hill not on this list? Did he not participate? Did he just say, I'm stepping out of the NFL Combine. I don't need to be in it because I'm that fucking fast?
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, a lot of guys are skipping the Combine now. The Combine's just not as important.
That's a shame, man.
Dude, the Combine, it's dying. It needs us. It needs better coverage from us, too.
It does. It does. We need to talk about Tyquan Thornton,
Tyquan Thornton.
And a Baylor. Come on.
But yeah, dude, people are skipping it. They're just doing virtual workouts or private workouts. Scouts, I think what I've heard is that they're relying more on game tape and reviewing film than they are Combine, which makes sense. Tyreek Hill might not be that fast at the 40-yard dash, but his game speed is what matters. He just blows by dudes. I don't know if it's because he runs a fast 40 or if he's just can slink around people faster. I don't know. I don't know what it means.
I heard in the fastest man competition, actually going back to our favorite game, the Pro Bowl, and the competition.
Take me back.
Take us back. He actually lost. He was proven not to be the fastest man in the NFL, which is blasphemous if you ask me.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Game speed is it's a different beast, man.
But could you name the guy that beat him?
I think I remember this.
I'm not even looking it up. I'm not looking it up.
It was wasn't it Micah Parsons?
It was Micah Parsons. You're right.
Yeah, dude, that's a scary thought. Micah Parsons, yikes! That guy's in our fucking division for the next.
I know. I think I didn't have to look it up because I already knew it was Micah Parsons, and of course he plays for the dreaded Dallas Cowboys, and
the worst.
We're we're NFC East fans, but we're not Cowboys fans. So
Oh, I don't. I'm
we're
not
not
a
happy
super.
that Nittany Lion found his way to our division because he's just going to make things more difficult for the next 5 to 6 years.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge Giant homer. I try not to like bring it up too much in the podcast, but one thing that I will not be shy about is my hatred for the Dallas Cowboys. They are the worst, and their fans are the worst, and nobody likes them. They're not America's team anymore. They're South America's team. That's a write
So
up.
here's one thing. Of course, we always have to get our NFL talk in because we all know
Oh, of course.
NFL owns this country. NFL is everything when it
We're
comes to.
we're already at 20 minutes, and it's all we've talked about.
It's America's game. We got baseball that's America's pastime, and then we got the NFL that's America's game. Speaking of America's pastime, real quick, we might as well touch on this. They didn't come to an agreement, Josh.
Nope.
They are skipping the first 2 series, from what I hear.
Yep,
so those first 2 series, oh my God, those first 2 series are very important for the regular season. I mean, what are we going to do without those first 2 series?
Dude, I don't know. But I did hear that they're talking about having like a replacements type situation going on with baseball. So could be our chance to get up in the majors, buddy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like guys like you and me, like getting in there.
Guys like you and me.
Oh man, well, I'd have a chance maybe at hitting a ball if a guy like you were pitching it, but if it's a major leaguer, I might as well just say, hey, I'm just going to the dugout, crack a beer. I'll observe from here. It's all good. I don't need to embarrass myself, do I?
I'm more interested in mascot positions. Baseball has some pretty good mascots.
Yeah, well, even that's difficult. I mean, that takes a lot of energy. I don't know if I could. I don't even know if I have the stuff to be a mascot.
Those suits get so hot. There would just be a fucking pool of water at the bottom of mine. It would be so nasty. They'd have to throw it out. They're like, there's no cleaning. If I'm in a Philly Fanatic suit, there's no cleaning it. They're just gonna have to fucking take it as a loss, throw it away, burn it, do something, because it is going to be filled with so many fluids from every orifice, man. They would not be able to keep it. There's no way.
So
it would be very expensive for them.
Major League Baseball is going to have to take a seat on the side. They're going to have to wait a while before we get our baseball experts involved. I just want to make an announcement. We are going to get our baseball experts involved. Johnny and Buell have officially announced that they will be joining us in the future here.
That's good.
Because there's nothing Josh and I do better than take a big, fat, steamy shit on the sport that is Major League Baseball. But we need
Can I clarify?
We need 2 guys. No, you can't. We need 2 guys that can come in here and set the fucking record straight, and they're going to do it. They have played baseball, not in the minor leagues, not in the major leagues, but they played the damn game. This is their chance. They put the butts in the damn seats, and they are going to join us as our baseball experts in the coming weeks. It might not happen next week. It might not happen the week after that. But eventually the players will decide how many hundreds of millions of dollars they want. And when they do, we'll have an MLB season, ladies and gentlemen. And then we'll be able to get back to the game that is America's pastime, baseball.
Yeah. So can I clarify now? I don't hate baseball. I hate baseball on TV. It just drags along. But take me out to the ball game all day. That's the fucking best.
Who doesn't know all the words to that song? Come on. That's my favorite part of going to a baseball game when they bust that shit out. You're like, I know all the words of this one,
And then you just leave immediately. As soon as you hear it, and then you just bounce.
Cracker Jacks? You fucking kidding me?
I will say betting baseball can get you back into it. I was betting the World Series games. It was pretty fun. That's the only thing, though. That's the only thing that'll get me into baseball, really, is betting it or going there live and drinking a shit ton of beers and watching it in person. Otherwise, I just doze out.
Here's to show how much I know about baseball. The first baseball game I attended was a minor league baseball game. This is
The
just
Cannons?
this is off the cuff. This is happening right now. It was the Frederick Keys, and I was brought by a neighbor, and I'm like, okay, I know sports. What's the big deal? So they're like, hey, neighbor's dad said, hey, bring a ball. And you'll be able to get it signed. So I go into my garage, I fumble around, fumbling, rumbling, and stumbling, and I find a ball. Okay. So I bring it to the game, and it's not until we get to the game and we're about to have these balls signed where I realize everybody else's ball looks a lot smaller than the one I have. My dumb ass brought a softball to a baseball game to get it signed, but I was really quick. They all laughed at me and they're like, "Whoa, this is one hell of a baseball," like, fuck you, baseball players. And I'm like, "Well, just more room for autographs, right?"
Yeah.
That was my shtick. But really, yeah,
I bet that other kid felt so stupid after you said that.
Yeah. No, it was actually one of the players I said that to. But the whole bit is that I don't know anything about baseball. I'm a novice. I grew up a football and a American football fan. Those are the two sports that I know, and I don't know anything outside of that. Actually, I do know, but I really don't. But hey, speaking of minor league baseball, we got a good transition over here.
I knew that's where this was going. I saw it coming from a mile away.
Oh! So, we thought it'd be fun to dive into a little segment we like to call the worst sports teams' names in the world. And we're going to put a little bracket together. Well, no, because
eventually we'll get to the world. Yep.
Yeah, we're going to put half the bracket together now, and then we'll put half the bracket together maybe next week, maybe the week after. We'll see. Maybe we'll have more shit to talk about next week.
Doubt it.
I have a few names here, and in fact, I'm already missing one. But who cares? Three of them are minor league baseball teams. So I can already dive into those. I hope you have your. So we're going 4-4, right?
Yeah, I've got 4. Now, my understanding when I've grabbed these 4 was a little different. I thought it was going to be more of a quiz. Like you have to guess if it's what sport it is and what if it's a men's sport or a women's sport.
I already botched that on my end, but we can do it on your end just for fun. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. So you get your names out of the way. I mean, not to say not out of the way.
The quiz portion I already ruined on my end. So you can do the quiz. You can do the quiz thing on your side.
All right. Let's
do the quiz thing on your side. Let's do it.
Okay. And
sorry, buddy.
And what side?
We're winging it.
And what side that is, we won't know until this thing gets published. So, is it going to be the left side or the right side? We don't know.
We'll see. Stay tuned.
All right, the first team I have. So remember, you're going to guess what sport you think it is, and if it's men's or women's.
All right.
The Los Angeles Hams. That's spelled Hamms. The Los Angeles Hams.
The L.A. Hams. Well, Hams, if I had to guess, would be the surname of the owner that created the team because he's such a fucking prick that he had to name the team after himself.
Such a narcissist. He just had to have it named after.
Cole Brown motherfucker over here. I'm going to say that's definitely a women's team because he thought he could get away with it.
All right, that's one point.
Yep. And I'm also going to say this has to be what sport?
Yes.
Softball.
Ooh, good guess. See, I was trying to throw you off with Hams. I thought maybe you would lean toward like Mia Hamm and think it was women's soccer.
Nope.
But it's actually, okay, that didn't work. It was actually women's basketball.
Oh!
Women's basketball. So the Los Angeles Hams represent the WABA, the Women's American Basketball Association.
Hey, I got half a point.
All right, the next one is the Portland. This one's so great. This one cracks me up, man. The Portland Fighting Shockwave.
Fighting Shockwave.
Dude, the shockwave wasn't enough. It's a fighting shockwave.
The
Like that is
fighting
something
Shockwave.
you don't want to meet that in.
Shockwave was taken. They couldn't get the trademark. They had to add in fighting. So
Dude,
I'm
you
going to
do
say
not.
this is a men's hockey team.
Ooh, that is way off.
Oh, damn it. All right.
So it is women's football.
You know, I didn't even think to up.
Not soccer.
Yeah, no, I didn't think to look up women's football. You know, that's shame on me.
I was diving deep. Yeah, dude. It's 2022. Okay, women can play football and they can play for teams like the Portland Fighting Shockwave.
I've seen it. I've seen the lingerie football league.
Oh,
I know.
I knew you were going there. Oh, dude.
Mark Rippon's daughter, dude. She's a gunslinger. She was awesome. Ooh. I mean, this is already blast from the past, and it shows my age, but I'm telling you, she was nasty with it.
Dude, Baltimore. When I was living in Baltimore, they had a team, and my buddy tried to get me to go one game, and I didn't have a chance to, and it's honestly a huge regret to not go to a lingerie football league game. Big regret. All right.
Hey, next up. It'll come back, right? Maybe not.
Not in this climate. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
All right. Next up, the New York City Ocean 11. That is a real team name. You can Google all of these.
God, that's so bad.
Dude, the Ocean 11.
All right, I'm going to say that is a men's lacrosse team.
Ooh, men's lacrosse. Again, way off.
All right, damn it.
That is women's basketball again. Representing the WABA yet again. They've got some banger names in there.
See, you picked out a WABA. I picked out the minor league baseball team. So
WABA is chock full. I sent you one of them. It was the Lady Yeses. The Yesas.
Oh, dude.
You saw that? Yesa.
Well, no, just real quick on a side note. While we were looking up these names, I told you that I found some hidden gems, like good names, like badass fucking names. My favorite one, shout out to the Memphis Hustle.
Yeah, that's a good name.
Memphis fucking Hustle? How badass is that shit?
That's a good name.
If I were a Memphis fan, I would buy all their gear. It was just Memphis Hustle, No, I'm not. I've been to Memphis. I've done the Beale Street thing, but I'm not. Oh yeah, I did the Beale Street thing. Hell yeah.
Okay.
But that's a story for another day, not for this podcast. But I'm not a Memphis
things
guy.
That happen there.
I'm not a Memphis guy. I can't sell out like that. I can't pretend I'm repping a city that I'm not. So
what league is that? Is that the G League?
That is the G League, my friend.
Sounds like a G League team.
That's a gangster league. So keep going.
Gangster league.
What else we got?
All right, the last one, the Massachusetts Monarchs.
Ooh, this one sounds familiar, actually. Monarchs is definitely men. I got that right? Yeah. That's going to come off really bad for some reason. Someone's going to find a problem with Monarch. There's been plenty of women monarchs in history, but just not for a really long time, except for one in England. Which, speaking of which, our one English guest bailed on us, but we'll talk about that here in a second.
We'll talk about that in a second.
I'm going to say that is a basketball team.
That is. It is men's basketball.
Yes! I knew it.
Dude, I thought the Monarchs were going to, because isn't the Washington Monarchs, isn't that a WNBA team?
No, they're the Mystics.
Oh, you're right. There's a Monarch somewhere in a women's. I'm pretty sure there's a Monarchs in the WNBA. So I thought that was going to throw you off. All right, so you got that totally right. You swept the board there. So that's 3 total points. That's actually better than I thought you'd do, based on how ridiculous these team names were. The Fighting Shockwave, man, it still fucking gets me. You do not want to run into a Fighting Shockwave in nature. Bad enough to hit a shockwave If
So
it starts
yeah,
fighting you, you're fucked.
I'm thinking the best way to do this is to maybe have when we put the bracket together, one of yours against one of mine, and just
Oh.
that's how the bracket will be, and then we'll break that shit down moving forward, whether it be next week, the week after, however long Cindy from HR allows us to go.
I like it. I mean, I think there's, especially if we branch out internationally, there's enough. We could fill up like a 32 team bracket if we bring 4 to the table every week.
That's true. This is the domestic bracket, so we can always do the international. Yes, we can do the international bracket.
Let me hear yours. And I stayed away from minor league baseball because I've seen it before. I've gone down that rabbit hole.
I know, and I told you that I had found these hidden gems, and okay. Well, let me just get the elephant in the room out of the way, which is one that we already have talked about, which is not minor league baseball. It's a G League team.
Yeah.
And this is right now my number 1 seed because I am embarrassed by it because they are the farm team of my NBA team, which is the Washington Wizards.
Yep.
I was really excited when I heard, by the way, that the Wizards had this team. I'm like, oh, cool.
Totally.
Let me look them up. Maybe I should get some gear, or maybe go to a game or something. And then I find out they're called the Capital City Go-Go.
Yeah, that's really bad.
The Capital City Go-Go. The Capital City Go-Go? How does the Capital City Go-Go fuck yourself? I'm not going to spend any money on any tickets or any merchandise. Are you fucking kidding me? The Go-Go? I mean, if I had told you the Capital City Go-Go, you would have 100% said that is a women's team.
That's a women's WADA team.
I'm not bashing women's teams by any means, but when you say go-go, you think women. You don't think like, oh yeah, men's basketball team, like, I don't know. So that really bothers me. So now that that's out of the way, we got the... all
right. No, go ahead.
No, what do you got to say? Let's hear it.
Well, go-go is the type of music in DC. Sardines and pork and beans. Oh, dude, you remember jamming out to sardines and pork and beans for hours back in the day. Come on. It's just a drum heavy
sardines. Wait, what's it called?
Sardines and pork and beans. Sardines. Hey, and pork and beans.
All right. Well, hey, let's who's our fill-in producer? Cue the music. Let's get this playing real quick.
Perfect. We have got to get it on here.
Yep. We're gonna get that playing right now. We're gonna get that playing.
It's just a drum-heavy style of music that's famous for DC, but it's still a terrible name because if you don't know that and you just see it on like, oh, who are the Memphis Hustle playing today? Oh, the Capital City Go-Go. Well, this should be an easy win.
The Capital City lose.
Yeah, dude, that's terrible. Anyway, all right, give me those minor league teams because I love a good minor league baseball name.
All right, so let me here are the 3 best of the worst minor league baseball teams I could find, and these are my 3 favorites. Beauty. And let me just start this by saying I am convinced that minor league baseball, they're doing a bit. They are trying to make the shittiest teams' names. And you know what? Good for them. They have a sense of humor. I love it. So I picked my 3 favorites. So we'll start out with the Lansing Lugnuts.
That is a great name.
The Lansing Lugnuts out of Lansing, Michigan.
I get it. It makes sense. Regional. They're building cars up there. I love it. Lugnuts.
Come on. The Lansing Lugnuts, and that's obviously an old name. I mean, that Lugnuts have been around for how long,
And you couldn't pull that off with any other sport, I'm convinced. That's what's so great about these two. You couldn't have a football team named the Lugnuts. It would sound ridiculous.
All right, so we got the Lansing Lugnuts as my 3 seed. I gave you my 4 seed. Here's my 3 seed. And then my 2 seed, I'm going to have to go with the Amarillo Sod Poodles. The Amarillo Sod Poodles.
Sod
And
poodles.
the Sod Poodles. Their nickname is the Soddies. They are
What?
they're like prairie dogs, I guess. You know, and that's
Oh,
just a little nickname for them. You know, Sod
sod
Poodles.
poodle.
No,
If anyone, dude, if I was at a bar and someone called me a sod poodle, I would kick their
Yes,
fucking ass.
yes. If somebody
Them's
looked you in
fighting
the
words.
eye and
Them's
said,
fighting words.
"Boy, you've never been to Amarillo before, and I gotta tell you, you look like a sod poodle," you would look at your friends, you'd look back at him, and you'd be like,
Yep.
"You want to go?" And then,
Well, let's
and then
take this outside.
yeah, your friends are like, "Dude, what's the big fucking deal?" You'd be like, "The guy just called me a fucking sod poodle." You know,
Sod
like,
poodle.
oh shit, guess you gotta fucking fight him. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a pretty big dude though. He's wearing cowboy hat, so good luck. If you start losing, we'll jump in, but we'll see how it goes.
Oh yeah, dude. If I went to Amarillo, I would lose 90% of the fights that I got in.
Guess you got to be that guy's sod poodle for a night.
They have real men down there.
And my favorite, my top seed. Oh, I love my top seed.
Okay.
They are the Rocket City Trash Pandas.
Did you say trash panda?
The Rocket City Trash Pandas. They are amazing. They are unbelievable. Located out of Madison, Alabama. Since when is Madison, Alabama Rocket City? You know, like that's number one. But then number two, the Trash Pandas. And I guess it's a play on raccoons. You know, they're calling raccoons trash pandas.
Yeah.
You know?
I've heard that before, but their logo is phenomenal.
Yes, isn't it awesome? I mean, they're my top seed. I'm gonna get Rocket City Trash Panda gear after the show. I'm buying it. I don't give a fuck. It's happening.
We should road trip
to Toyota Field. We're going to Toyota Field. We're going to go see a game.
We've got to get down there. Wow. Well, I thought the yard goats. When I went down this rabbit hole before, I saw I think it's like the Hartford, Connecticut yard goats. I was like,
yes.
Oh, that's a phenomenal name. I'm like, that's always kind of stayed with me. But
dude,
I did not know about the trash pandas. And holy shit!
Here's the thing about the yard goats.
Look at this little plushie.
Yes, and I saw the yard goats, and I thought to myself, you know what? At least it's a goddamn like real animal. At least you can say, hey, yard goats really exist. That's a real thing. Sod poodles, on the other hand, and trash pandas, those are just, those are people in the South just making shit up. Like, oh, look at that thing, and I'm thinking to myself, it's a sod poodle. It's like, no, that's not in the fucking, no, it's on the Animal Encyclopedia, you lying sack of shit.
Dude, the sod poodles look mean, too. I just fucking looked them up. They look pissed off.
I know that they're a solid 2 seed.
That is solid. You've got a really solid list. You've got a solid list.
We got a good domestic bracket. That's what we got.
The domestic bracket is solid. Your list is a little sexist. You don't have any women's teams on there, so you should probably branch out a little bit.
When we go to our international,
you've always been
all female teams after that.
You've always been an international man of mystery, so that makes sense.
You never know what I got on my sleeve. You're
saving it up for the.
I had to mention those three. Those three were worth mentioning, dude. I mean,
Rocket City Trash Panda is just phenomenal.
So Rocket City Trash Panda is solid number one. Amarillo Sod Poodles, for those that weren't paying attention. The Lansing Lugnuts, solid 3 seed.
Really
and of course, the Capital City Go-Go, the sorry-ass G League NBA team. They are, without a doubt, my top 4 in our domestic bracket. So we're going to break down our domestic bracket. We're going to have our teams go against each other on each one. And we're going to have a number 1 champion of the worst team name. We're gonna give them the shirt. We're gonna give them the hat. We're gonna do the whole bit.
You're gonna be able to do it in person because I can't imagine it getting worse than the Capital City Go-Go. But
You're
We'll
right.
see. Dude, when we get international, there's going to be some really shitty teams out there.
Rocket City Trash Pandas, though. Rocket City Trash Pandas. I'm
There-
telling you, it's a sneaky. That's my dark horse.
But it's not. That's not a shitty team name. That's a great team name. I love that name.
It's so bad it's good. It's one of those.
So bad it's good. You're
so
right.
bad it's
You're
good.
right.
It's one of those songs. So bad it's good. You know, one of those movies. So bad it's good.
Oh yeah, that's true. Castle Freak.
Hey, so you know we're starting this week. We are for the first time ever week 4. By the way, Josh, we this is our month milestone. Okay,
It is
of Brash Sports.
somehow
we're gonna do
we
something
made it here
for the first time, and we're gonna continue this tradition moving forward, starting today. It is the weekend parlay.
Okay, the
So,
weekend parlay.
Let's get into this weekend parlay. Here's what we're gonna do. You break it down because you had a good way of breaking it down when we came up with this idea initially.
Yeah.
So hey, break it down.
I was thinking. So we have each of us make 3 picks, right? So we have 6 total picks for the parlay. We each pick one underdog. We each pick one favorite. And we each have a coin flip. So anything around even money, right? Now, obviously, your underdog can be really anything. If you pick, like, one with crazy odds, that's great for the parlay, but also don't fuck up everything else, right? Unless you're sure it's going to hit. And then your favorite, it's also not great to pick someone that's, like, minus 10,000 to win, because that's not adding anything, right? Like, basically, betting G League and picking anyone to beat the Capital City Go-Go will be minus 10,000 odds. So I threw it out there. Like, that's kind of how I would like to break it down. I think that would be one, fun and interesting and getting us out of our comfort zone a little bit, because it's very easy to pick 3 heavy favorites and call it a day, right? And also, when I plugged it in, just kind of willy-nilly, the first time, the odds came up as like plus 4,000 roughly. So if you bet $100, you would win 4,000. We're clearly not going to bet $100. We're going to bet what, five to win 200.
No, we're 3 and 3. We're 3.
Oh, okay, so
3.
So that would be what, $6 to win 225 or whatever, somewhere around there, right? And then, just bet it every single week, and then based on the odds, we'll hit like 1 in 40, and then get our money back.
So let's do it.
Let's do it. Do you want to do your picks first? Or you want me to dive into mine?
Well, I think we should just bounce back and forth. First, First, we'll do our underdog. Let's do underdog, then coin toss, heavy favorite. Duh.
Okay.
Then coin toss, then underdog.
Okay. I like it.
All right. So, and you're going to be putting these in what sports book?
Well, we're going to use Barstool Sportsbook, but
okay. Are you punching these in as we go?
They are. They're already logged in, so I could see what the odds are.
Okay, and why shouldn't you have said their name?
Well, Barstool is our biggest competitor right now, so.
Oh, well,
I'm just kidding.
Barstool is what I'm sitting on right now. So you know what? They are holding me up literally and figuratively. So
you're sitting on a
Let's do it! All right. So let's start off with our heavy favorites. Who is your heavy favorite, Josh?
My heavy, I wouldn't even go heavy. I mean, they're minus 335, but I like the Florida Panthers on Saturday at 6 p.m. versus the Detroit Red Wings. The Panthers are just on fire this year. They're at home. So, that South Florida crowd, they're going to be going in there, escaping the heat, fired up, getting wasted on a Saturday night. The crowd's going to be into it. I like the Florida Panthers money line, minus 335.
Ooh, all right.
Who's your big favorite, Brandon?
Well, I think it goes without saying who my big favorite is. My
There
big
it is.
favorite. My big
Yeah.
favorite is the
Yeah.
big, beautiful blue team.
Did you
And
hang that just so you could do that?
well, actually, I did. That did. It does look perfect, doesn't it? No,
It does. It does.
I actually hung it for our first ever guest who bailed on us today. I'm gonna say it for what it is. I'm gonna call it for what it is. Our first ever guest was going to be a Man United fan. We were going to have a nice
Born and bred.
gentleman discussion about Derby Week. And you know what? He left us high and dry. And I'm sure he's sick. I hope he gets better because there are plenty more Derby weeks to come. But
So he's either sick or he's supporting our sponsor, Sick Voice. So either way, it's a win. Either way, it's fine.
City is a heavy favorite because for the past 10 years, City has been the favorite. Manchester's been blue, and there's no excuse for City to not beat the dirty old rags in the Etihad Stadium. So I got City winning on Sunday on the 6th at 11:30 against United, and I got to win comfortably. And don't. Not to put money on my picks anymore, but even though I had City winning last week against Everton, I had City winning a nice, clean 2-0 against United on Sunday. So that is my heavy favorite pick. Go City. Come on, City!
So the odds on that are minus 250 for the money line straight up. So even if they win 1-0, that's fine.
Okay.
But the way soccer works with your soccer picks, it can't be a draw. And it can't go to extra time or penalties or whatever.
City's gonna win.
Yeah, so they have to win outright in the first 90. Very good. Well, then, what we're doing next? Underdogs or coin flips?
Let's do coin flips.
Okay, coin flip for mine. Going back to the NHL, I like the Vancouver Canucks at the Toronto Maple Leafs to go over 6.5 goals on Saturday at 7 p.m. That's minus 115 odds. The Canucks defense is terrible. The Leafs are one of the highest scoring teams in the league. If you look at the past 5 games of each, they've gone over, I think, 7 out of 10 times between the two of them. In fact, the Canucks, I think, have gone 5 for 5. They give up a shit ton of goals. They go over all the time. So I think over 6.5 goals is a safe bet for that game.
All right.
All right,
give me your coin flip. My coin flip again. I'm and this won't be a trend. I promise you. I will eventually start venturing away from my heart. But
you don't have to. That was your heart, man.
Week 1, I'm sticking with my heart. I'm going with a team that I thought was going to completely shit the bed last week against an expansion team that's known as Charlotte. You should know a thing or two about them since you're down there in North Carolina.
Their home opener is this weekend. They're freaking out.
Charlotte was looking pretty fucking good last week. I thought they were going to sneak a victory at Audi Field against my boys, DC United. So I got DC United as my coin flip against the lowly SC Cincinnati, coming off a sorry-ass 5-0 loss. DC United coming off a 3-0 loss. Yes, it sounds like a heavy favorite, but it's not. If you looked up last year's final standings, this is a perfect coin flip because Cincy could easily disappoint DC United at their home ground. I'm going DC. I got them winning 1-0 against Cincy.
All right, there it is. Yeah, they're plus 104, so right on line with a coin flip. And for my underdog, and this is based more on odds than anything, at plus 300, I've got Rory McIlroy winning the Arnold Palmer Invitational on Sunday evening at some point. So he started off strong. He had a shitty round today, but he's Rory. He'll bounce back. I think he's in second right now, tied for second. So I like him at plus 300 to give him a run. And if nothing else, I think all these other games are on either Saturday or Sunday morning. So we'll have something to root for. If all 5 hit, we're going to be fucking rooting really hard for Rory McIlroy come Sunday evening.
All right, well, my heavy underdog is a good one. It's a great one. It's one meant for the fucking movies because it's in one of my favorite sports, and that is MMA and
Mm-hmm.
UFC. And fighting is meant for the goddamn theater. I got Jorge Masvidal beating Colby Covington, and I got him
Okay.
beating him. You don't have to pick this, but I got him beating him in a fucking knockout in the third round, late in the third
Oh,
round. We'll see what happens. But Covington, whom I fucking despise, I think he's just a fucking prick. But you know what? Respect the man. He's an unbelievable fighter, and I wouldn't talk shit to his face. He he's only lost 2 of his last 10 fights, whereas my boy Masvidal's lost 4, Covington's lost 2 of his last 10 fights, whereas Masvidal's lost 4 of his last 10 fights. And of course, they're both coming off, a couple wins. Except for, I'm sorry, Masvidal actually just lost against Usman for the championship, but it was for the strap. Come on. And nobody beats Usman. He hasn't lost in like 15 fucking fights. So come on. That doesn't count. But, I got Masvidal beating Colby Covington tomorrow, this Saturday. Main card starting at 10 o'clock on ESPN Plus. I have Masvidal winning in the main event in the third round with a knockout. That's my big upset special of the week. I think we got ourselves a good, solid parlay.
yeah, absolutely. I like it. I don't see anything on there too outrageous. I like your 3 picks. You are clearly just straight from the heart.
It's all hard. It's all hard.
100%.
But again, it won't always be like
Right.
this. It's the first parlay. I'm going all hard. When they all 3 shit the bed, then I'm going to start going more strategic. I promise you. I'm going to start tweaking some things. Except for City. City's unacceptable. They cannot lose.
That's true. Let me pull up. I had it saved in here. Give me 1 second. I have pull it up on my phone here real quick. But yeah, when I looked at it earlier, it was like plus 8,000 or something crazy. So some pretty outrageous odds we've got going. Okay, and we lost the bet slip. So Brandon, you're just gonna have to. I'll plug him in right now. I don't want to bore people with just like, oh, 1 second. Let me plug that in. Let me just find the NHL.
Fuck the people. I'm just kidding. We love you guys.
Yeah, dude, our fan will be so mad.
Yeah, I know. The one guy who puts comments on the fucking YouTube video. I'm telling you, I'm trying to get it switched. I'll be on the right. Josh will be on the left. Josh will be on the right. I'll be on the left. I don't care,
I prefer an element of surprise every week, personally.
I just like to hit the button and say, you know what? Surprise me. There's nothing wrong with that.
All right. Well, on that note, do you have any other Derby news you want to talk about?
Well, again, it's hard without our special guest who couldn't join us here today.
He's going to hear this and be like, God damn it.
I just wanted to say, it's typical of a United fan to back out of the first ever Derby argument that we could have possibly had. And again, it's all for fun. I wasn't born in England. I'm not from Manchester, but I am a die-hard fucking City fan, and I can't wait for City to prove once again that Manchester is blue and do what they do and knock off this stinky old wet red rags. Let's do this. Come on, City! Come on, City!
All right. Well, I think we just end it there, right? I'm fired up. I'm ready to run through the fucking wall.
Well, given the dirty, wet, red rag, all of a sudden, hold on, somebody's walking in. It's Anderson.
It's Anderson. He's back.
He's telling me it's time to pull the plug on this bad boy. So
he was probably listening in the car on the way over. He's like, I gotta speed over there and stop.
I thought you were viewing. Oh, he said he saw him.
Oh my god.
Okay. Well, this took a dark turn. Well, hey, you know what? We did it, Josh. We did it. 1 month in, Brash Sports is still alive. Cindy hasn't fired us yet. Anderson hasn't fired us yet. And they're all still sticking around. And, Brian from accounting still has things to account for. So we should feel proud about that.
Wait, what does Brian in accounting do? We were demonetized the episode 1. Like, what does he even do?
Don't ask any questions about Brian, okay? We don't want to cost him his job. He's been doing a bang up job over there. But Anderson keeps giving me this gesture. Pull the plug.
Yeah, we gotta pull it. All right, buddy. It's good chatting with you, man. Let's hope this parlay pans out, and I'll fucking see you next.
Fuck yeah, man. Hey, come on, City! Come on, City!
I said blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. I said blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. I said blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of mine.